Wait till she's ready.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to call this village board meeting of April 2nd, 2020 to order. Would the clerk please take the roll?
President Jackson,
Here.
Trustee Schmidt,
Here.
Trustee Sullivan,
Here.
Trustee Light,
Right here.
Trustee Meritato, Trustee Pojek,
Here.
and Trustee Schroeder.
Excused, we could not get her connected. So, would you all please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it
Pledge
stands,
allegiance,
one nation, under God,
flag,
indivisible,
United States.
And to the republic for one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
We need practice. For all of you watching this, we are holding this meeting according to distancing standards, and therefore there are very few of us in this room, and the rest are connected on Zoom. So please bear with us because we're not used to doing it this way. First of all, I would like to open the public hearing, and it's a public hearing by the mayor and board of trustees for the purpose of receiving oral and written comments from the public concerning the annual appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2020 and ending April 30th, 2021. So I called the public hearing to order and invite anybody in the public to come up and address this board regarding the annual appropriation ordinance. And
Mayor, if I may,
yes,
we have had a announcement on the website which solicits feedback for anything that goes in front of the board and on our agendas. Feedback can be entered directly onto a form. It comes to my email or Nicole Lewis's email. I just want to let you know that there has been no public comment in regards to the public hearing that we've received via email, nor for the remainder of the meeting.
okay, thank you. And there is no one here from the public, so a motion would be in order to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing?
Oh, Mo.
I got Mike and Bill.
Okay, Mike made the motion, Bill seconded it. To close the hearing, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing is closed. We just have one community announcement tonight, which is from all of us. As we continue to monitor the everyday challenges COVID-19 has had on our communities, I want to remind all village residents to stay positive through these difficult times. Although we are reminded to stay home to help flatten the curve, I have seen so many amazing community initiatives that I believe have helped bring us together. From those who are making homemade masks to distribute to hospitals, friends, and family, to the school district staff and the Center for Senior Citizen volunteers who continue to distribute lunches and meals to those who need them, Glendale Heights has risen to the challenge of ordinary people doing extraordinary tasks. We are also incredibly grateful for our police, fire, and healthcare workers who continue to put their lives on the line daily. I also want to recognize all of our grocery store staff, restaurant owners, truck drivers, government and village employees, and many more who are deemed essential. Many of these individuals continue their day-to-day responsibilities so that we can have essential services for our community and our country. I continue to have bi-weekly phone conferences with the governor of Illinois and other area mayors, along with regular crisis management team meetings with village staff, emergency personnel, and other government agencies throughout Glendale Heights. We will continue to update the Glendale Heights community with new information as it becomes available to us on the village website at www.glendaleheights.org or on all of our social media platforms at VOGH News. The entire Glendale Heights Village Board is here for you, and I want you to reach out to us if you need anything or have any concerns or questions. On behalf of the Village Board and the Village of Glendale Heights, please be safe, remain calm, and I wish you good health as we get through this pandemic. And remember, we are all in this together. So please, if you need anything or whatever, Village Hall all village buildings are closed to the public, but there are people here to answer phones and get you answers to your questions, and we are still providing services, so please, just call us. Thank you. We have two proclamations. The first one being a proclamation to proclaim April 7th, 2020 as National Service Recognition Day, and a proclamation to proclaim the month of April as Autism Awareness Month. So if there are no objections, I will sign these proclamations.
Go ahead, sign it.
Please do.
Thank you. Will do. I have to go to my next page. Mike, would you like to go to the podium, please?
Certainly.
It is my great pleasure to bring forward to the Village Board of Trustees my selection of Mike Marin for the position of Village Administrator. Mike Marin has been a longtime member of the Glendale Heights community, having attended both Glenside Middle School and Glenbard North High School. After graduating from Glenbard North, Mike served in the Army as a military police officer. On January 8th, 1987, Mike was hired by the Glendale Heights Police Department. Mike served the Glendale Heights Police Department in many positions, from patrol officer to serving the village of Glendale Heights as the longest-serving police chief in the department's history. Mike was hired on October 6, 2017, as Assistant Village Administrator. In that role, Mike has continued his lifelong commitment to not only the safety of the residents of Glendale Heights, but the continued growth of the village. When Mike took on the role of interim village administrator, he continued to work hard for the residents of the village of Glendale Heights staff, and the village board. In times of crisis, Mike has kept a clear and level head to help us navigate the many challenges we have faced, and will continue to help us come together as a village. During his entire career, he has been a role model, a leader, and most importantly, Mike has always been a great friend and colleague. This is why I believe Mike is the perfect person for this position of village administrator, and I am confident he will continue to move us in the right direction. At this time, a motion to concur with the appointment would be in order.
So moved, Mayor.
Sharon?
Second.
Thank you. Would you guys prefer a roll call vote? Or, yeah, let's have a roll call vote.
Roll call vote.
Okay,
Mayor, would you like to be included in the roll call vote?
you can't hear you.
Oh, would you like to be included in the roll call vote? No.
Yes, at the
President-
end.
Okay. Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yeah.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes,
And President Jackson?
Yes, definitely. Thank you. And I can't go by Mike because he's by the podium and that's less than 6 feet apart. So, do you have a copy of your?
I do. Somebody was kind enough to provide
Since
that.
the clerk is not here, and our attorney told me I can swear in anybody. Here you go, Mike.
Better sworn in than sworn in.
Please repeat.
Raise your right hand.
Oh, raise your right hand, please. It's not on this paper. I, Michael S. Marin,
I, Michael S. Marin,
having been appointed to the position of village administrator
having been appointed to the position of village administrator
in the village of Glendale Heights,
in the village of Glendale Heights,
in the county of DuPage,
the co-
aforesaid,
in the county of DuPage, aforesaid,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of village administrator to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of village administrator to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Mike, and congratulations.
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 You've been doing a phenomenal job in a,
keep up the great work, Mike.
We'll have cake when this is all over. I just want to thank, Mayor, I want to thank you and the village board for having the confidence in me to continue to see the village move forward. I hope to take it into the future the way we've been dealing with our development and so forth in the past, and we will look forward to good times ahead.
thank you.
Thank you.
Not that you haven't been doing this job for a while anyway, but
Thank you.
you've been doing great along with all of our staff who have, I know, been giving you a hand.
Absolutely.
And two. So thank you, board, for your support in this. I know you feel the same way I do. Great job, and we'll have a cake sometime when we have people. Okay, now we go on to public discussion of agenda items. But there's nobody here, so we will move on. You have the consent agenda before you. What is your pleasure? Oh, Trustee Sullivan, I saw your hand.
The consent agenda.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes,
And Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. There is no old business, so new business number 1 is a motion to waive first reading on new business items numbers 2 through 6. Trustee Sullivan,
So moved.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? First reading is waived on new business items 2 through 6. Number 2 is an ordinance to amend a previously approved planned unit development for the Plaza Westlake planned unit development in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. This is for O'Reilly Auto Parts at 2160 Bloomingdale Road. This comes from the March 19th, 2020 Committee of the Whole. We waived first reading, so this would be ordinance number 2020-20. Trustee Pojek,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Meritato.
Yes.
Trustee Pojek.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
And Trustee Light.
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-20 is approved. Number 3 is an ordinance to waive bid and accept proposal of Aries Incorporated for the Armitage Avenue Box Culvert Floor Rehabilitation Project, and to authorize the execution of a contract by and between Aries Incorporated and the Village of Glendale Heights. First reading has been waived. This would be ordinance number 2020-21. Trustee Schmidt,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Light.
Yes.
Trustee Meritato.
Yes.
Trustee Pojek. Trustee Pojek. Oh, he turned off his microphone. He said yes. Trustee
I saw
Schmidt
that.
Yes.
and Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-21 is approved. Chester, you want to try saying something again? Because I think your microphone got flipped off.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Thank you. Number 4, an ordinance extending temporary executive powers pursuant to 65 ILCS 5/11-1-6. First reading has been waived, and this would be ordinance number 2020-22. Trustee Schmidt,
So moved.
Second.
Second.
any discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Pojek.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
Trustee Light.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
And Trustee Meritato.
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-22 is approved. Number 5, an ordinance granting a conditional use to permit the existing rectory house and amending a conditional use to permit the construction of a garage for Queenship of Mary Church on the premises located at 219 Armitage Avenue. This is from the March 19th, 2020 Committee of the Whole. First reading has been waived, and this would be ordinance number 2020-23. Trustee Light,
So moved.
Second.
discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Trustee Light.
Yes.
Trustee Meritato.
Yes.
And Trustee Pojek.
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-23 is approved. Number 6, an ordinance to approve a plat of easement abrogation for utility easements for the Queenship of Mary Church, commonly known as 219 Armitage Avenue in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. This is from the March 19th, 2020 Committee of the Whole. First reading has been waived, and this would be ordinance number 2020-24. Trustee Sullivan.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
And Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-24 is approved. Number 7 is a resolution to approve a certain plat of re-subdivision entitled Queenship of Mary Re-Subdivision for the property commonly known as 219 Armitage Avenue in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. This is Resolution 2020-R-20. Trustee Schmidt.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
And Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Resolution 2020-R-20 is approved. Number 8, an ordinance to authorize the issuance of an entertainment permit for live entertainment for Pronto's Restaurant located at 2260 Bloomingdale Road in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. This is from the March 19th, 2020 Committee of the Whole meeting. This is first reading. Number 9 is an ordinance to approve and authorize the annual appropriation ordinance of the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. This is first reading. Number 10, an ordinance to amend various sections of the zoning regulations. This is first reading. So we go on to number 11, which is an ordinance to amend section 10-17-5 entitled Determination of Vacant Building and section 10-17-7 entitled Registration and Plan Requirements of chapter 17 entitled Vacant Buildings of title 10 entitled Building Regulations of the Municipal Code of Ordinances of the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois, and that is the change in fees for vacant property regulations. That is from the March 18th, 2020 special meeting, and that is first reading. Number 12, an ordinance to amend section 10-14C-4 entitled Application for Certificate Fees of Article C entitled Transfer of Real Estate Inspections, Section 10-14C-5 entitled Inspections, and Section 10-14C-9 entitled Penalty of Chapter 14 entitled Licensing and Inspection of Properties of the Title 10 entitled Building Regulations of the Municipal Code of Ordinances of the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois, Commercial and Industrial Real Estate Transfer Inspection Fees. Wow. That is from the March 18th, 2020 special meeting, and that is first reading. We now go back to public discussion of agenda items. If there's anyone that would like to address this board, but unfortunately, there's nobody here, so a motion to
Once
adjourn
again,
would
Mayor-
be in order.
Once
Pardon?
again, Mayor, there's no input from the public via the online webpage.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. A motion to adjourn would be in order?
Hey,
Trustees,
Mayor, I got a question.
yes.
This is for Mike. Did we, ever look into that, the garage sales?
We did check on that, trustee Meritato, that particular house, they were actually cleaning out their garage, so there was no garage sale going on there. And we are not issuing garage sale permits because people can't come in to get them. So, any garage sale that would be occurring would be, illegal at this point.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
We can't hear him.
You didn't hear him?
No.
No.
Who didn't you hear, Mike or Pat?
I heard mine, not Pat.
Heard Mike, but not Pat.
So Pat's question, he had called earlier today about a potential garage sale that was going on in one of the neighborhoods, which actually turned out to be someone that was cleaning out the garage.
Oh, okay.
Okay, a motion to adjourn would be in order. Trustee Sullivan,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This meeting is adjourned and committee of the whole will be,
Me.
Mike's.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
I would like to call to order the Committee of the Whole meeting for Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. Miss, can you please take note who's here?
So noted.
Electronically, I guess, and physically?
Oh, no. Oh.
Do we have any, quick note, we have to remove item number 2 in discussion regarding. Do we have any additions or deletions? I'm guessing.
Yes,
What do you got, Chester?
the sound is breaking up.
Oh, any additions or deletions? Anything? You got anything to add to it? No? Okay, we'll go with that. If you do, we'll catch it in the end. All right, we have no committee recommendations. We'll go on to discussions regarding, we have a discussion regarding solid waste regulations. Who would that be?
That would be me. Can everyone hear me? It's Joanne.
Okay, Joanne.
Okay. In regard to the solid waste regulations, the ordinance committee reviewed proposed changes to the regulations and recommended that we amend the regulations in several regards. One is to remove language that gave the Public Works Director approval to allow storage of garbage outside, that we would recommend that it be rely on the zoning regulations. The second item is to eliminate the section that requires dumpster enclosures within 10 years of approval of the ordinance. Since that was several years ago, that section is no longer pertinent. And then additionally, about pallet storage that we would recommend be removed and rely on the zoning regulation. And probably the most significant change, those are all basically cleanup changes. The most significant was a request from the public to amend the hours of garbage pickup, or when cans can be put out in front of their homes. The current regulations are November 1st through March 31st, no earlier than, 4 p.m. November 1st through March 31st, and 6 p.m. April 1st through October 31st. The ordinance committee recommended that be changed to 2 p.m. so that throughout the whole entire year, cans can be put out at the curb at 2 p.m. So those are the proposed changes before you.
Okay, were we looking for direction or do we need for a vote? or-
Move it to the board.
We are looking to pass this on to the village board for approval of the ordinance.
Okay. Got a motion from somebody? Mayor?
Move it to the board with the recommendation to concur.
Second.
Discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. All right. Moving on to number 3 then, discussion regarding pet licensing requirements. Who's this one?
That would be me.
Okay, hi, there you are, you've
Can
been
you
quiet.
hear me?
Yes,
Okay, we're broadcasting live from the finance department, in the lower level. Your
I love
listening
it.
pleasure. Back at the ordinance committee meeting, we made a recommendation to eliminate the need for issuing pet licenses in the community. Did that because of the advances with chip technology, and also because we're seeing over the past 4 years a decline in revenue. You recall that back when we had the committee meeting, 2017, we collected a little over $4,600. As of March 31st this year, 2020, we collected about $1,200 less than that, about $3,200. And we're at the point in the year where we would proceed with ordering the pet license tags that would be issued and sending out the notices to the residents. And we'd like your recommendation to eliminate that requirement.
anybody like to make a motion? Bill? You good, Bill? Okay, go ahead, Bill.
Okay, move it to the board with a recommendation to concur.
Second?
Yeah.
Sharon, thank you. Discussion?
Yeah, Mike, why don't we? enforce the
Discussion.
law that everybody in this town has at least 2 dogs?
Can you hear me?
Chester has something to say.
We were
Trust-
Pat's
Trustee
on right now.
Meritato, Trustee Meritato was commenting about the number of dogs that we have and the lack of number of licenses that we've obviously issued. I believe that Chief Flint understands a little bit about also the need for the elimination of this. And it's not just the concept that we haven't issued a lot of them. It's quite honestly an archaic requirement. So
If I could add too, the only people that come in to get the licenses are the homeowner or the dog pet owners that want to comply with the ordinance. Most of the pet owners, the village has no contact with throughout the year to issue them a warning or a citation so that they're not coming in to get that pet license anyway. So, the vast majority of pet owners are responsible pet owners, and we don't have contact with them, unless their dog gets out or we have some other issue with the home. So most pet owners who want to abide by the ordinance come in, but that vast majority of them don't. And of those who don't, we have little contact with them regarding their pets.
Hey, Chief, can you hear me?
Yes.
Chief, I think we're gonna lose control of number of pets in those households. I know it's the honor system, but, I think we might be opening up a can of worms.
Well, right now, we have no idea how much compliance we have. It's a guess. But I think we're still enforcing 3 or more when we have knowledge of 3 or more pets in a household. We're still enforcing every other ordinance that we have regarding pets.
Trustee Pojek, you bring up a good point. However, one of the things is that the people that have more pets in their house than they should are not coming in to get licenses for them. So it's really not an effective means of keeping account and keeping control of the number of pets in people's homes.
So that's just the honor system then, that's it.
It's in all honesty, it's kind of where we're at now. Because, the majority of people that we come in contact with who are pet owners, we don't have contact with them and their pet, we just have contact with them. And we're not, discussing pet licensing with them every time we have contact with them.
So
Sharon?
what do we want to do? I'm kind of lost.
So essentially,
We can always try it for a year and see what happens.
Trustee Sullivan, to answer your question, what we're looking for is for the committee of the whole to move it to the board with a recommendation to concur, eliminating the need for dog and cat licensing.
Oh, okay. To eliminate it totally.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Huh.
All right, we're in discussion. I guess it's,
Okay.
any more
So
discussion?
with the elimination of the licensing, it doesn't mean we would eliminate registration. And from the ordinance committee meeting, the police department's committed to still registering pets. So not having to pay for the license, but still registering pets on a honor system basis, so that if we do have contact with the pet, we know where the owner's at, and we can do at various things that we have throughout the community. Whenever we're back in the community, we can
And
have
why do we want to do that?
so that the police department has a registration process of pets, and that we know that if there's a black lab loose on Schubert Avenue, that we know if we've registered that pet, that black lab belongs to this address.
And there are still ways.
Maybe
You just don't want them to pay for the license?
The license wouldn't be required anymore. What the chief is proposing is a voluntary for someone who wants to do that, but the police department still has ways of returning a lost dog to the owner. What's different now than what it was when the dog licensing ordinance was brought into being was that we have the COVID chips that, I don't think they're called COVID, but the chips.
No, they're not COVID.
I have COVID on my mind today. But the chips that are inserted in most dogs now, if you pick them up at the pound, if you get them the vets will put them in, and it's basically just a reader that we have access to in the police department that'll tell us the owner of the animal. Also, rabies tags are now searchable via database through DuPage County, something that the police department wasn't able to do in years past. But with the advancement in technology, obviously, all that is available to the police department. And so just the current dog and pet ordinance, for the purpose that it was instilled for, was to hook the dog back up with its owner, is really kind of a moot point because there are so many ways of being able to do that. So it becomes kind of archaic at this point. As the chief was saying, that there are difficulties in trying to enforce it for those who do have it. And the chief is willing to still do a voluntary enforcement, kind of like we do with bike registration. Individuals can come in and register their bikes with the police department if they so choose. There's no requirement to do so, but that would be the same concept that the chief is talking about right now with animals, pets, dogs and cats.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think we can try it for a year, see what happens.
Any other discussion? Okay, we have
You know,
a,
what I'm thinking is, if
Just so you guys know, we cannot.
if you don't have the license, that means a person could go out and have 2 or 3 dogs, because he's not worried about getting a license. I don't know, I have to think about that one, I don't know.
I agree.
If somebody wants to have 4 dogs, they're not getting a license anyway, because then they would be.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if he knows he's not going by the law and getting a license, he's gonna think twice before he goes out and gets another dog. You know, but
But the ordinance that prohibits more than 3 animals in a house still exists.
right, so if there's a problem there at the house or whatever issues you're called into, they'll still,
Yeah, I mean,
Enforce that.
and we get those calls in the summer a lot. We have people who rescue pets in town, and we'll have calls routinely throughout the summer of, hey, there's 4 or 5 dogs here. and we'll go there and, hey, this dog's only here for a day because I'm rescuing it for a day, then it's going to another house. So, we get calls like that throughout the summer when dogs are more outside and you can see them more. So, people do call us about, too many pets in a house or too many dogs outside, and we do respond to those, and we do enforce the more than 3 dog or 3 cat rule in a house, because that ordinance isn't going away.
All right, do we have any more discussion? Anyway, Pat, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, but I don't like it, but
All right, well, we have a motion, we have a second. Can we go ahead, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
hey,
Nay.
2 nays.
Wow.
So that was, I lost track of that one.
Bill and Sharon, yes.
Sharon was no.
I mean, Bill and,
Yes.
Bill and Sharon, yes.
no.
No, Sharon was no.
Sharon,
No.
Sharon and Pat was no. Bill and Chester, I'm sorry.
That's 3-2.
Okay, and Mike, were you, or
Oh,
Linda?
no, did I get to
Mayor?
vote on that
No,
one?
Mayor, what was your,
Yes.
oh, Linda, Mayor?
So it'd be a motion, go ahead, all right, well, oh my goodness. All right, yes, it's a motion to move it to the board with the recommendation concur, 4-2 vote, correct? Or the 3-2?
So everybody has more time to think about it. Do you want to just have it a motion to the board with no recommendation?
We can do that motion to the board, no recommendation?
And then they can be voted on at that meeting.
Buy the licenses then. I'll have to go and buy the licenses.
I know.
Would anybody like to, who made that motion?
Bill
I don't
first,
think it makes any difference because board action is required and it's just a recommendation to concur. It doesn't carry any weight.
Okay.
All right, so it gives us
Is
a
it
little bit of
3 to
time.
2? And 3 to 2 in favor of
3-2.
making the recommendation to concur?
Yes.
did you say yes, Linda? I didn't hear it.
If it is, then I think Bill's right. I think you just leave it the way it is and you'll take it up at the board. When it becomes an ordinance, it's going to need 4 votes there.
Okay.
All right, then it is moved to the board. All right, then next one, number 4. Let's see if we get through this one. Discussion regarding parking tickets fines. Doug,
Okay.
is you?
Yes. So this is a continuation. This is a continuation from our ordinance committee meeting back a couple months ago, and I will. We had an in-depth discussion about our parking ticket history of fine payments and what we can do to try and increase our fine payments and make things a little bit better for our residents. So let me give you a quick summary of that conversation we had back then. Currently, year to year, we are at about is this feedback from me being at the microphone or?
There's a 5-second delay in there.
Okay.
I don't know, but you're going in and out.
Okay. So we've had about a 50% on average parking ticket payment history from people we've issued parking tickets to and their payment. We currently have roughly about 2,711 parking tickets at iDrop with the state, totaling about $153,775 in liabilities. That's from January, that number. So our red light camera revenue or liabilities is about $250,000 that we have was at iDrop. The Illinois is now no longer taking iDrop for red light cameras, so they are moving all that money back to us, which we're moving to collections. In July of this year, but really effective now, we are no longer able to use driver's license suspensions to assist us in getting parking tickets paid. So currently, if somebody has 10 or more parking tickets from the village, we are sending notice to Secretary of State, and if they pay us, then nothing happens to their driver's license. If they don't pay us and they're given notice, their driver's license gets suspended. That program goes away. So we're losing 2 programs that we have to collect on liabilities that over the course of the last several years is totaling over $500,000 in liabilities that we haven't been paid for fines and tickets we've issued. We did a survey of other communities about what they're charging for parking tickets. One of the issues that we have with our parking tickets is, one, we're higher than almost everybody else, but we have no penalties when it comes to lack of payment. Somebody pays a parking ticket currently, it's $35. There's a $15 late fee assessed, but there's no other fee assessed to. There's too much feedback?
No, just keep going.
Okay. There's a $15 penalty assessed to that $35 fee, but after that $15 fee is assessed, there's nothing added on top of that $50. So there's no incentive for somebody to pay. Surveying other communities, Bloomingdale is at $25 with a increasing fee schedule up to $75. Hanover Park is at $30, but then it goes to $50 if you don't pay it within 10 days. And then they have a sliding schedule that goes up to $500 if you don't meet all of their timelines. Bartlett's at $25. It becomes $50 after 10 days. And they have a sliding schedule as well as it goes through adjudication and to iDrop. So the ordinance that we have come up with to assist us in increasing our timeliness of payment and to increase our, I just want to say, smooth out the revenue process of how tickets get paid and not have all this money out in collections and all this money out in the state, was to, after surveying all the other communities, come up with a payment schedule that is fair to the residents and fair to the residents and the village to help increase payments. And you have a sliding scale of penalties if that fine is not paid in a certain amount of time. We've also changed how we issue citations and a fine schedule for various citations. Within the ordinance, you see 4 different fine schedules, A, B, C, and D. Schedule A is for your basic parking ticket. Your basic parking ticket is going to be $25. That includes ordinance tickets, that includes village sticker tickets, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., street maintenance day, along with every other routine parking ticket that we issue. That fine schedule starts at $25. If you pay that fine after 10 days, but before the first hearing date that you're going to be given an adjudication hearing date, that fine is $50. If paid after non-appearance at first hearing, but before the second hearing date, that fine is $75. If you don't pay it between the second and third hearing date, and you've been given a notice all the way through this, your fine is $100. So we're offering an incentive to violators for parking tickets, reducing the fine from $35 to $25, but increasing the penalties if they don't pay in a timely fashion. Encouraging them, if they are guilty of this, to pay that. If they are not guilty of the parking ticket, they have the right to go to adjudication, have the adjudicator then not find them liable. Under Fine Schedule B is going to be fire lane, safety zone, more than 5 inches of snow, and then equipment violations through the Illinois Vehicle Code. We're going to start writing more equipment violations and non-moving violations under ordinance and move them to adjudication, not in circuit court, but here within the village. And fines for that is going to be $50. Under Fine Schedule C, those fines are vehicles, commercial vehicles, vehicles of second division, RV and trailer parking, commercial vehicle on a residential street. Those fines are $100 because we really want to discourage commercial vehicles from parking overnight within the village, being on village streets. So that fine is $100. And then Fine Schedule D is $250, and that is for handicap parking. Each one of these has a sliding scale. B goes from 50 to 100 to 150 to 200. Fine Schedule C goes from 100 to 200 to 300 to 400. And Schedule D goes 250, 350, and stays at 350 because that's the max that we can fine under state statute for handicap parking. So it's a kind of brief overview of the ordinance, a brief kind of history of how our revenues kind of don't come in a timely fashion, and how much money we have outstanding in to collections throughout the state and to our collection company. So what I'm looking for is just some recommendation and to move this to our next meeting so that we can pass this as an ordinance and start moving towards this system May 1-ish.
All right. Do I have a motion? Sharon?
Board for approval.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Pat. Sharon, second?
Second.
All right. Discussion? No discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Did the board, did everyone?
Did everyone catch that? Sharon, Bill, Chester?
Chester,
Their
you're on mute.
sound's not
Oh, I'm
working.
sorry. Volume was down on that one.
Bill's
Okay.
okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There we go.
Opposed? All right, then we have a motion to move it to the board with a recommendation to concur. All right, that's it. We have no other, motion to adjourn. Bill?
No,
Oh, sorry.
heard you before.
Okay, go ahead, Chester.
The only problem with this video is the sound is breaking up. It was very hard to understand, and it's very difficult to hear Pat.
Yes. I agree, Chester.
With the sound breaking up?
Yes.
Okay,
So Pat is,
it was just me.
Trustee Meritato is actually on a cell phone with a microphone being held to the ear of the cell phone. So that's why you're having trouble hearing him. And it appears that we were having some trouble with the microphone that Chief Flint was talking into.
Well, Linda too was going,
Yeah. It was very hard to understand Linda.
yes.
Our technical wizard is walking up to the microphone now.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, guys, I wanted to tell you that the way that we connected Pat kind of screwed up everything else because we had feedback that went back into the system and caused all the problems.
Hey, cut that out.
So we're going to work with Pat and Chester. I got to work with Mary a little bit to make sure that we can connect properly next time.
All right. Anything else? Anyone else? All right.
Yeah, I just,
Mayor?
Bill?
we will work on getting back to regular board meetings as soon as we are allowed to.
That would be
Because
wonderful.
this is, my opinion, this is very difficult for everybody. So,
All right.
just everybody stay safe.
I like it because I could be there with you guys. But, it
Soon.
was hard tonight. Last time it was good.
Yeah. Bill, you had something to say?
There were fewer on last time, that's why.
Oh, okay.
And it's past my bedtime.
That's what it is.
I don't have a motion.
All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion's adjourned. Meeting's adjourned.